Commissioners' General Session. Today is Tuesday, April 8th, 2025. As a reminder, this is a public meeting, so if you could mute your devices, that would be greatly appreciated. And first, we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Boyce.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I just say, I love to see all your faces this morning. I know it's standing room only, but it's not often that we have this many people in general session at one time. And so greatly appreciate you all coming down to be recognized. And so we are going to start first with Dr. Melita Moore, CEO and founder of Level Up Land, Ohio, and a team of senior e-gamers are joining with her today. Level Up Land is an innovative program that creates dynamic and enriching experiences to educate, inspire, and empower individuals of all skill levels and ages. Through the world of esports, this program fosters digital literacy, strengthens cybersecurity awareness, promotes mental well-being, and builds meaningful generational connections. Dr. Moore, we invite you to the podium to share more about this impactful initiative and its role in shaping the future of technology and community engagement. And I know that you're going to bring some gamers up with you as well. Welcome to the podium.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Shonda Wingo, Director for the Franklin County Office on Aging. At the Office on Aging, we are deeply committed to finding new ways to support our older residents, helping them live independently, stay connected, and thrive as they age. That's why our partnership with Levels Unlocked Enterprises and the creation of the Senior Gaming Days has been such a meaningful part of our work. We also are the first in the country to do this. Way to go, Franklin County. Through this program, we've seen our seniors build new technology skills, boost confidence, sharpen their minds, strengthen their social bonds and familial bonds, and most importantly, have a lot of fun. It's been inspiring to watch our participants challenge themselves, step outside of their comfort zones, and embrace something entirely new. Today, we want to take a moment and recognize and celebrate the amazing seniors who took part in this program. Before I do, I will allow Dr. Moore to say a few words about this initiative.
Thank you, Commissioner Crowley. Thank you, everyone.
I've never seen a speaker get round of applause like that, so that must be something.
Well, we're very grateful to be here today. Obviously, we're here with our Level Up Land senior gaming crew. We're so very grateful for this program. I stood here last year very humbly. We had no idea what this program was going to be. It was a pilot. I don't think any of us could have imagined what this program has turned into. The impact, the social connection. We try to do this program to combat this epidemic of isolation and loneliness for our seniors. I think we've accomplished that, y'all, would you say? Yeah. You all have been steadfast in the program. We are so very grateful for all the support, obviously from the county commissioners, certainly from the county Office on Aging. We could not do this program without that, certainly from a financial standpoint, but the emotional support, the social support, it has been unwavering. And I'm so very proud. And I'm proud of you all. I'm very proud of you all. When you are trailblazing and you're pioneering, there's no path for you to follow. But with your support, with our team, we've been able to really navigate this uncharted territory. And so as we're creating our blueprint for the movement, we're trailblazing. And so we are very grateful again to be here. We are here to recognize you all for your work, your dedication. Some of you all came in not knowing how to turn on a computer, how to use a mouse or a keyboard. And now you come in, you get set up. We have had people over the age of 100 and at 60, and we have our steady community. So we could not do this without our partners who are here today, Game Arena and Esports Foundry, certainly with Dr. Sarah Anderson and The Ohio State University doing our research, and our many other supporters. So thank you very much for this time.
Madam President, before she steps away from the podium, come back. Now, did I hear a rumor that your mom is out here too?
Yes, my
Where's
mom is
your
here.
mom? Where's your mom?
Raise your hand, Mom.
Okay, all right, okay. All right. That's amazing, that's amazing. And so did she do a good job, your daughter? She did? Okay, all right, just checking. You said what, beyond a good job? Okay, you're the aunt. So that's your aunt. So one thing about your aunt is she told me today that she worked with my mom.
Yes, sir.
And it's sometimes. So so the funny thing is about my mom is that, you know, people come to me all the time like, I know your mom. Like they'd be like, yeah, Linda, and my mom's name is Debbie, and they'd be like, Linda was. I'd be like, that's not my mom. Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about, but she said that she was like, Debbie is your mom. So I definitely will go back and tell her. And she took a picture she sent to my mom, and now she's gonna get on me because she hasn't seen me in a couple of days. And so she'll be like, oh, you hanging out with other people, but you're not hanging out with me. So I'm in trouble. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
One last thing, our seniors, we do have a certificate for you for completion, but we will deliver those across the hall. So after this, if we want to move to over there, we'll close out with our ceremony. Thank you.
Before, Madam President, I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
May I?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I know my colleagues will want to speak too. And let me just, one, thank you for being pioneers, because what you really represent is an investment that is already, we're seeing the returns on that investment. And so what that means is others will get to follow in those footsteps. And that's really important, not just for the seniors who participated, but for our community. It strengthens all of us, and it strengthens all of us. I'm thinking, I can't believe I didn't tell my mom about this program. I mean, that's what I'm sitting here thinking, because she's a gamer, and she does it to keep her skills honed and to really manage her time well, and a variety of other things. And she's got a number of issues that this is definitely a resource to help her navigate those things. And so hopefully we'll get her signed up. And I want to take the time to invite all of you to the senior baseball game, where we celebrate and honor your lives and celebrate you as part of this great community. But this year, there's a special treat. This year, a special thing happening, because the first pitch for that game will be thrown out by our president, Erica Crawley. Yeah. So I'm going to be there to cheer along, and I hope you join us, and we'll have a great time. Last year, my mom came, she brought all her friends. You were supposed to come. And I'll never forget all of the seniors circling my intern and dancing around him and not letting him out of the circle. It was quite the experience for our office, but more importantly, for the folks who celebrated and honored the legacy of the folks who really built a foundation for all of us. So thank you so much for what you represent and how you continue to invest in this community and continue to invest in the future of so many others. God bless you all. Thanks so much. Congratulations on your Level Up achievement too.
President Crowley, if I might. So Dr. Moore, after you were here last year, and then we came up to the Fawcett Center for your event that you had. My staff made some arrangements for them to come out to level to your facility to experience Level Up. Had a good time playing some, participating, playing some games. Got a little humbled by a few of your seniors, and so they've been out to see the place and enjoy the time to just to get a chance to experience with some of your seniors. So it's a great program. Appreciate. I wasn't able to make it that day, but appreciate the work that you guys are doing, and so thank you for this.
Yeah, I would just add, thank you so much for this, for providing an opportunity for our seniors and our aging residents. I know that oftentimes as we age, and I think about my mom before she passed, feeling very isolated, disconnected from the world, from the community, because she wasn't able to use her cell phone the way that she wanted to, or to be able to get online and research. And she would play some game that was kind of like, I don't know, was it Words with Friends or whatever? That would be like the extent of what she could play, but she wanted to do so much more. And there wasn't a resource like this in her community. And so this also promotes those from feeling isolated and fosters community and fosters well-being and mental health. And I'm sure I would love to see this study in like how gaming extends life expectancy, right? And so I'm sure there's probably research being done somewhere on this, but would love to see that data because it just stimulates the mind and helps with helps with things like that. So thank you for bringing this to the community. I know there's more opportunities. I was at UARC a couple weeks ago with Ms. Shields. I love her. Yeah. And with the bunny. And so I got to, talk about an event that's coming up, and got to hear from some of the gamers and just how excited they are about the opportunity, about the resource, about playing with each other and other people, and just the smiles and how their face lit up talking about their experience made the world of difference for me. It actually made my day. And so you have no idea. You might have an idea, but you probably don't understand the impact and how it will reverberate for years to come and what you have brought to this community. So congratulations and thank you.
Commissioner Crowley, if I could. Commissioner. Joy Bivens, Deputy County Administrator of Health and Human Services. Just really quick, I want to acknowledge both Dr. Moore and Joanza. This program is phenomenal. When we met with you 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago with the HHS team, we said we wanted to be the first in the country. We are the first in the country, so thank you. And we are having conversations, commissioners, with the National Association of Counties to uplift this particular initiative because many times people associate it with young people. But I wanted to thank the both of you because you both come from the legacy of parents who give everything to the community. So thank you always for being, the heartbeat, understanding what our residents need. And I just appreciate the legacy that you two come from and always thinking about the community first. So thank you.
Thank you. And one of the things that came out of COVID and, our recovery and resiliency plan, and one thing that we invest in is digital equity, right? The board administration doesn't just talk about it. We are about it. We put our money where our mouth is. And it was very important for us when we were having the conversations about digital equity, not just about, how much it costs to have access to Wi-Fi and different things like that, but we were talking about infrastructure, but we were also talking about how to make sure specifically our aging community could have access to computers, to technology, to be able to have resources that they didn't even know were available. And so, Dr. Moore, this ties into our Rise Together Poverty Blueprint Plan, but also our Recovery and Resiliency Plan and digital equity. And so you are absolutely helping move the county forward. Thank you. Alrighty. So next on our agenda,
I think they want to do a picture.
do you want to take a picture now or you want to take it later? It's up to you. Are they staying? They want to stay? All right.
Look, y'all sure?
We would love to have you so
Okay.
you can see how your tax dollars are being put to use each and every day. When I was at UARC, I talked about how on Tuesdays and Thursdays we brief on what we're going to vote on Tuesdays. And Tuesdays we really don't have people show up. And these are your tax dollars. These are our tax dollars that we're put to work each and every day. And you should know how it's being spent. So I love the fact that you want to join us for the rest of the agenda.
The only other time that we have, I'm sorry, Commissioner, the only other time that we have a crowd this big is when we honor the athletic teams that win state championships, and those kids never stay. They can't wait to get out of here.
So I was just informed that for those that rode on the transportation, your ride is coming to get you, so we should probably do the picture. And those who are on the van, you'll need to go when your ride gets here.
Let's do,
And we
can
have
do
our gaming and our AI lesson, so we'll get out of here.
Okay, well, we can do that. We can have
All
a
right.
picture.
Oh, come up, come up. Or shoot, yeah. Over line is back. Yeah, all the way back, yeah, all the way back. Shorter folks in the front, top of the two rows. Top of the three rows. Maybe three rows.
She's trying to get in and I'm trying to face
Are we all in the picture? We all in? One, two, three, level up. One, two, one, three, one, three, one, two, three. Level up. There we go. All right. And one, two, three. I need my reading glasses for this. Hey, John.
All right.
Your reading glasses?
Yeah.
I brought them the same. Thank you. Perfect.
All right, so I'd like to take a moment to recognize some special guests joining us today. We want to highlight Child Abuse Prevention Month, that's why some of us are wearing blue today, and raise awareness about the impact of abuse and neglect across Central Ohio. With us today is Tashia Saffer, CEO and President of the Center for Healthy Families, and Raquel Breckenridge, FCCS Family Services Director for Permanency. If you would both join us at the podium, we would love to hear more about how our community can come together to protect children, support families, and prevent abuse and neglect.
Good morning, and thank you, Commissioners.
Good morning. You
President.
can raise that up if you need to. There's a button on the side.
Your right-hand side.
On the right-hand side. There you go.
Good morning again, Commissioners. President
Is that
Collins,
on?
Tashia Saffer with the Center for Healthy Families. It is an honor, as always, for us to stand with our partner, Franklin County Children's Services.
The mic's not, sorry.
Hello. Thank you. Good morning to our Commissioners again, President Crawley, Tashia Safford with the Center for Healthy Families. It is an honor to stand with Franklin County Children's Services to acknowledge that April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. But we recognize the accountability of our community is 365 days of the year. For parents, we often can recall coming home with that newborn. And honestly, there is no instruction manual. But when we have our children, our most important work, we have to recognize that a number of vulnerable families need our support. Research indicates that when families have resources, access to community connections, in addition to overall community, child abuse rates go down. When we invest in the well-being of our families, we invest in the well-being of Franklin County. So thank you for all of your hours of commitment, your investments in making sure that Central Ohio and Franklin County continues to be the best place for families to thrive.
Good morning. My name is Raquel Breckenridge. I am the Family Service Director at Children's Services in our permanency areas. And we would just want to say that we are grateful for the partnership and the services provided to our youth and family, and in particular to our young adults who definitely need that support.
I always think it's wonderful when we can actually have our young people advocate and speak on behalf of those in our community that are vulnerable and most in need. So I'll let the important folks come up.
Good morning. We're members of the Center for Healthy Families, Black Girls and Young Women's Collective. We're here on behalf of the Center and Franklin County Children's Services and Youth Advisory Board Program. We are here today to invite you to join us in observing and raising awareness about National Child Abuse Prevention Month. Before we go any further, we'd like to introduce ourselves. My name is Kenya Grace, and I'm a freshman at Columbus State.
My name is Catherine Pierce. I'm a senior at Metro Early College High School.
My name is Mia. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sorry. Okay. My name is Miata. I'm attending Columbus State.
Recognized nationally since 1983, April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month. During this time, organizations such as the Center and FCCS lead efforts to combat and raise awareness about child abuse and its devastating impact on our community and beyond. Child abuse is defined as actions or failures to act by a parent or caregiver that causes harm or put children at risk. Child abuse can manifest in many forms, including neglect and endangerment, and can include physical, emotional, or sexual abuse. It can occur in a child's home, school, or groups they interact with. Child abuse affects more than 3 million children annually and causes deaths of 3 children every day. Locally, this is an issue that impacts thousands of children and families. In 2023, Franklin County Children's Services received nearly 28,000 reports of child abuse. That's an average of 76 reports of child abuse to the hotline every day. Of the 28,000 reports, over half were concerning physical abuse, and 1 in 6 alleging sexual abuse, and 1 in 8 involving domestic violence in the home. When it comes to the topic of child abuse and neglect, it is also important to note that Black and brown children are disproportionately impacted, with many cases going unaddressed and overlooked. In 2021 alone, Franklin County Children's Services received reports of over 7,000 incidents of abuse and/or neglect concerning Black girls. These figures further highlight the importance of protecting children and supporting National Child Abuse Prevention Month.
So throughout April, the Center's Black Girls and Young Women's Collective, along with FCCS Malika and Youth Advisory Board program, will actively participate in the City Council and County Commission's meetings to advocate for child abuse prevention. So how can you and others in this room join us in this mission? Throughout April, the Center and FCCS are hosting a series of events to engage and educate the public on child abuse prevention. In partnership with our friends at Orange Bell Media, kiosks in the Short North and downtown areas will display national child abuse prevention advertisements. So if you see one of these ads, we encourage you to snap a picture and share on social media tagging the Center for Healthy Families. On April 12th, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., the Center, alongside with volunteers and city leaders, will create a display of blue pinwheels at Columbus City Hall, followed by a solidarity walk. The color blue is inspired by Michael, a 3-year-old boy who tragically lost his life due to abuse. This represents hope and remembrance for all children affected by these issues. Throughout the week of April 7th, Columbus City Hall and other municipality partners will illuminate blue lights in support of National Child Abuse Prevention Month. And on Thursday, April 10th, we are encouraging everyone in this room and all Ohioans to wear blue to work, school, and community events in observance of National Child Abuse Prevention Month. Snap a picture or take a photo of you and your friends, family, and colleagues and post it to social media tagging the Center for Healthy Families and using the hashtag #OhioWearsBlue 2024, or 2025, apologies. And then we also invite everyone here to join Franklin County Children's Services tomorrow, April 9th, from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. for their annual Child Abuse Prevention Breakfast. In closing, preventing and reporting child abuse is a collective responsibility. We believe all Central Ohio community members have an active role to play in ensuring children live safe and thriving lives, and that their families and caregivers have the information and support they need to create safe spaces for their children. More than a color, this is a human issue that impacts innocent lives each day. This month is about intentional action and using our power, our voices, and our networks to advocate for those who cannot advocate for themselves.
Once again, to our commissioners, thank you for prioritizing support to family programs, because we recognize that when families thrive, Franklin County flourishes. And I'll open it up to questions for FCCS or to any of our young people. Thank you.
I'll open it up to my colleagues first.
I'll start. Thank you, Madam President. I want to just first begin by thanking the Center for Healthy Families for your long time and continued advocacy, not just for young people, but for families. And it's a value added to this community at a level that there's no appropriate measurement for. So keep doing what you're doing, and want to encourage you for that. To the young people that are here, Kenya, Catherine, and Mieta, did I say that right? Thank you for your advocacy, but also thank you for your courage in advocacy. Words are one thing, but standing for what you believe are another. And I want you to know that your presence here today and your words and comments have a meaning outside of this room, because someone is going to hear that voice, read those comments, and be inspired to contribute in the same way that you did, whether it's in advocacy, courage to stand up, or other ways. And so I want to just thank you for your leadership and encourage you to continue to be a voice for perhaps those who might see themselves as voiceless. And to all of those folks who, when I think about Child Abuse Prevention Month, and then I hear you talk about Michael, 3 years old, having life taken, and you mentioned the deaths every day of 3 children, I really think about the possibilities of what could have been. And so you never know who's the next president, who's the next leader, who the next CEO, lawyer, judge, whatever. And we should all be very protective of those lives to ensure that humanity reigns, humanity continues, and that's really what you represent. So thank you all for your work, thank you for your advocacy, and let's all take a moment today to reflect on what we can do to protect those who are most vulnerable amongst us, as my colleague to the left of me always says, the kiddos.
Thank you for allowing us to be here and use this platform to share our words.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Kathy.
Commissioner?
Absolutely.
You know, we really appreciate you guys being here today. We've been partnering with and working with your organizations for years, for as long as I've been a county commissioner, I'm sure beyond. But the reason is the young ladies that are standing before us today and the example that they show this group here today, the example that they are. It's easy to partner with you when we see the result standing before us today.
I just want to say, as always, thank you so much for always being here, for advocating for our families, to make sure that every child, every kiddo has the same opportunities to thrive and not just survive. I've been, engaging with the Center for Healthy Families over the past few months now, and the young ladies that are here are very outspoken, are very determined on making sure that those that look like them are able to be successful, are able to thrive, are able to have a great quality of life, and that they will use their voice to make sure that that's heard. And so I'm just in awe that I get to share space and time with you all, and that you all continue the advocacy. I will say that before I lived here, I lived in Atlanta, and I worked for the Fulton County Juvenile Court. I started out as a court-appointed special advocate for children. I started out as a volunteer for CASA, and then I started working for CASA after 2 years of volunteering. And we just had a resolution last week for CASA, and I will continue to advocate. If you have time to volunteer, please look at CASA or Court-Appointed Special Advocates for Children as a place to serve your time. You will make a huge impact on children, because you are the voice for children, especially those who are in foster care or have been involved with foster care, who are looking for someone to represent their own interests. Yes, they have a child advocate attorney, but you will be there to represent their best interest. And you get to, you usually, in most cases, have the longest relationship with a child, because in this space, especially with children's services, sometimes case managers turn over or you get assigned to different cases. And so for a CASA volunteer, for those who have been abused and neglected, your presence usually gives them the stability that they are desperately looking for and seeking. And so I would just put a plug in again, if you have time to volunteer, please think about Franklin County's CASA program that's in the Office of Justice Policy and Program. So thank you. Yes.
Commissioners, Chris Long, Deputy County Administrator. I wanted to confirm that we do have the county government complex lit in blue as well, as we do every year for this very purpose. And so I just wanted to confirm that we do that here as well at the county. So thank you.
And we do have resolutions for FCCS as well as the Center for Healthy Families. Want to take a picture?
see you.
Okay, we are on to our regular agenda, and we are going to start with domestic relations.
Resolution number 25225, resolution authorizing 4 contracts for mediation services in the amount of $164,680.
Good morning, Commissioners. Barb Rees, Director of Finance for the Court. This first resolution is requesting the award of a 1-year contract to various vendors for court-ordered mediation services. Competitive bids were opened by the Purchasing Department with a total of 5 bids received. The combined total of all 4 contracts will not exceed $164,680. Pending any questions, the court requests the approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 252-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 25225 has been adopted. Resolution number 25325, resolution authorizing a second amendment to the 2025 grant agreement with the Ohio Department of Youth Services in the amount of $128,469.
With me this morning is Deja Owens, our grant administrator. This resolution is requesting several amendments to our 2025 grant agreement with the Ohio Department of Youth Services. These changes including increasing the grant administration program to provide staff training, a decrease in the residential treatment program due to a reduction in the number of referrals, and an increase in the budget for various programs to add 3 new service providers. Now, I would like to turn it over to Deja to discuss these new programs.
Good morning. The 3 service providers we will be adding to our program services. First one being Our Brother's Keeper. They will be providing a violence intervention and prevention services through individual and group mentoring. Our Brother's Keepers is a nonprofit organization committed to reducing violence among at-risk youth by providing comprehensive support through mental health classes, behavioral health interventions, and after-school programming. Our second additional service provider we're excited to announce is Levels Unlocked, Ohio. They will be providing digital literacy and self-learning skills to youth in the Juvenile Intervention Center. The comprehensive initiative will provide a dynamic range of programming with incentive-based learning, esports curriculum, credentialing opportunities, non-degree certifications, in addition to mental, social, emotional, and behavioral health, and implement tools to measure scholastic achievement to habilitate and create readiness for re-entry into the community and workforce. Lastly, we'll be partnering with Think, Make, Live Youth. We'll support youth in the JIC by providing group mentoring to develop a life path plan. They will also provide additional individual group mentoring for our youth who are housed in the community. Their Credible Messenger Guns Down program will partner with youth to develop an individualized life plan designed to address 7 core domains of development, including resiliency, health, relationships, education, community and civic engagement, self-discovery via creativity, and economic empowerment. Thank you.
All right. If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 253-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 25325 has been adopted. Resolution number 25425, resolution authorizing a contract with Ohio Guidestone for therapeutic supervised visitation in the amount of $20,000.
This last resolution is requesting the approval of a contract with the Ohio Guidestone to provide supervised visitation for our Parents and Family Recovery Court. Pending any questions, the court requests the approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 254-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 25425 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. We have a public hearing for Resolution 25525. Can the clerk please read the public hearing?
Resolution regarding final hearing for establishing, altering, and widening of the Safe Route to Schools Improvement Project, including Amesbury Way and Schoolhouse Lane, Charing Cross Street, in Norton Road and Owen Street, Prairie Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
I would like to open a public hearing for this resolution. Is there anyone here in the audience who would like to speak on this public hearing? Seeing none, I would like to close the public hearing and have the clerk read the resolution into the record.
Resolution number 25525, final hearing for establishing, altering, and widening of safe routes to school improvements project, including Amesbury Way and Schoolhouse Lane, Charing Cross Street, and Norton Road and Owen Street, Prairie Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
Morning, Commissioners. Located in western Franklin County and Prairie Township, this project funded by ODOT Safe Routes to School dollars. Improvements include new sidewalks and ADA curb ramps, upgraded sidewalks, and active pedestrian crossing. Approval of this resolution authorizes the county engineer to move forward with the necessary acquisition process. Pending questions, I would ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 255-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 25525 has been adopted. Resolution number 25625, report third of the Franklin County Engineer establishing sums of compensation for a portion of the owners of property abutting Frank Road, County Road number 125, at Brown Road, County Road number 142, Hardy Parkway Street, and Frank Road, County Road number 125 at Brown Road, Township Road number 142, Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $41,467.
This project is located in southwest Franklin County in Franklin Township and the City of Columbus. Funded with ODOT safety and OPWC dollars, this project seeks to improve safety at the existing signalized intersection and the existing stop-controlled intersection with modern roundabouts. Pedestrian infrastructure upgrades and access management will also be implemented. We negotiated with the property owners, and compensation is based on the appraised fair market value. Pending questions, I would ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 256-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 25625 has been adopted. Resolution number 25725, resolution authorizing a contract with Affiliated Resource Group Incorporated consultant to provide expert knowledge and services to support multiple information system initiatives in the amount of $69,825.
Commissioners, our final resolution seeks approval to enter into a professional service contract with Affiliated Resource Group for IT services. Affiliated provides technical assistance with our network, infrastructure, and security system. Affiliated is an SBE certified local firm. Pending questions, I would ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 257-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 25725 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, prosecuting attorney.
Resolution number 25825, resolution authorizing a transfer of general fund appropriations for the addition of 4 full-time assistant prosecuting attorneys to establish a discovery unit.
Good morning, President Crawley, Commissioners Boyce and O'Grady, County Administration, and esteemed guests. Shayla Favor, Franklin County Prosecutor. It's truly an honor to be here with you today as we come together in our shared mission to foster transparency, accountability, and transformative justice. As we work to build a more effective and ethical justice system in Franklin County, I remain steadfast in my mission to bring transformative change to the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office. We all understand that the strength of any community is determined not only by its economy, but by the safety, fairness, and effectiveness of its justice system. Today, I want to make the case that investing in our justice system is not just a legal obligation and the right thing to do, but a strategic investment in the future of Franklin County. By strengthening the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office, we will be making an investment in the safer, more just, and prosperous community that attracts people to live, travel, and invest here. Over the past several years, the legal landscape in Ohio has undergone significant transformation. The passage of Senate Bill 139 and the implementation of Criminal Rule 16 has placed new demands on prosecutors, requiring the timely, complete, and ongoing exchange of discovery materials between the prosecution and defense. While these reforms are essential to ensure fairness and transparency in the criminal justice system, they have also placed a substantial amount of pressure on an already strained resources. As one of Ohio's largest and fastest growing counties, Franklin County is facing an ever-increasing volume of criminal cases, many of which involve complex digital evidence, surveillance footage, and law enforcement records. This demands a level of resources, technology, and staffing that will enable us to meet the needs of a modern justice system and to protect the community that we serve. Please allow me the opportunity to illustrate the challenges that we face. In 2024, the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office operated with $30.7 million and with 257 employees. Now, compare that to other law enforcement agencies in the county. The Franklin County Sheriff's Office operated with a budget of $218.6 million, and that is around 1,361 employees. The Columbus Division of Police commands a budget of $390 million and employs about 2,300 staff members. And the Ohio State Highway Patrol operates with about $446 million and 2,500 employees. This disparity speaks to the fundamental issue. While our office is tasked with representing 1.4 million residents and handling criminal cases from law enforcement agencies across the county, we are doing so with limited resources compared to the agencies we work alongside. We are the engine that moves cases forward in our community, but we are operating on a fraction of the resources necessary to ensure timely, fair justice. The reality is that without the right resources, the justice system and the future of our county suffers. As we look to the future of Franklin County, we recognize the significant investments being made in economic development, in tourism, and infrastructure, investments that will shape the future of our community. But we cannot fully realize the potential of these investments without a strong foundation of public safety and justice. Businesses, tourists, and residents alike want to live, work, and invest in a safe and thriving community where justice is swift, it's fair, and it's transparent. Without a robust and efficient justice system, those investments in economic development and tourism will be undermined. People will not want to live or invest in a community where justice is delayed and where the legal system is bogged down by inefficiencies. By investing in the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office, we are helping to create a safe, stable, and attractive environment, one where businesses feel confident in their decision to invest, families are eager to call this place home, and visitors feel welcome. This investment will help ensure that we have the infrastructure in place to support not just the legal system, but also the economic vitality of our county. But if we fail to act, we risk not only delays in justice, but also significant financial costs. Without a centralized discovery unit, we face the continued backlog of discovery requests and case delays, which can lead to dismissals, wrongful convictions, and ultimately costly appeals. Delayed justice means delayed economic growth, as businesses and individuals begin to question the stability of a system that is not functioning efficiently. Consider the economic impact of pretrial detention, which costs taxpayers approximately $110 per day for each prisoner in Franklin County. By reducing delays through better case management and more efficient discovery processes, we can save taxpayers millions while also shortening pretrial detention durations and enabling businesses and families to thrive. One solution to this problem is that we need to establish a dedicated discovery unit within the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office, a unit that is responsible for ensuring that evidence is exchanged promptly, accurately, and in full compliance with discovery laws. This will create a more efficient, effective, and transparent legal process. Additionally, the addition of 4 assistant prosecuting attorneys would directly increase our capacity to handle cases more efficiently, distributing the workload more evenly, resolving cases more quickly, and reducing the backlog. This will result in fewer continuances, better informed charging decisions, and ultimately, a system that works faster and with greater integrity. By establishing a dedicated discovery unit and adding additional prosecutors, we will streamline the case management process. We will reduce pretrial detention times, we will restore public confidence in the justice system, and attract investment and visitors to Franklin County. This is not simply about asking for more resources. This is about building a more effective, efficient, and ethical justice system for Franklin County. It's about strengthening the integrity of the entire system, improving outcomes for everyone involved, and being good stewards of public dollars. This is an investment in the future of Franklin County, a future where justice is timely, fair, and accessible, and where businesses and families are encouraged to build their future here. We are at a crossroads, and the decisions that we make today will determine the future of our county. By investing in our office, we are making a choice to build a justice system that supports not only the fair treatment of individuals, but the long-term economic vitality of our community. I ask for your support today, because this is an investment not just in our office, but in the future of a more just and accountable criminal justice system in Franklin County. Together, we can ensure that Franklin County remains a place where people want to live, work, and invest, because a strong justice system is at the heart of a safe and thriving community. I thank you for your time, your support, and your commitment to building a better future for Franklin County.
Thank you, Madam Prosecutor. I do have a question. I appreciate you talking about the cost to taxpayers as we have people just languishing in our jail, which costs approximately $110 a day. Can you talk a little bit about the number of discovery requests that your office gets, and how that, by adding the 4 additional staff members, will help resolve the discovery requests that have not been responded to in the types of cases those are?
Absolutely. Thank you for the question, Madam President. As of March 27th, Franklin County has 2,105 pending discovery requests that have not been responded to, and 281 pending murder and aggravated murder cases in adult court, with additional cases in juvenile court, indicating the ongoing challenges in managing pretrial caseloads.
Thank you. And I would add, and we could probably talk about it more, I'm absolutely supportive. I think it's a great idea. We know that we could talk about how many people are just sitting in our jail waiting for their cases to be called, but obviously if discovery, and there's a backlog with discovery, that takes a lot of time. And so to just be able to expedite the process, having people dedicated to just discovery will make a difference. And we know that we have people who have been in our jail for years for serious offenses. And so appreciate this resolution. I'm supportive. And 2,105 pending discovery requests, that's significant.
It is a significant request, and it's the complexity of these requests as well. As technology continues to advance in our society, we also have to be able to advance our technology to keep pace with that. And so it's not as simple as just copying paper and handing that over to our defense partners. There is a lot of intel that must be deciphered, and that takes time. It takes a lot of energy for us to be able to get through all of the requests that are pending. And so your approval and support of this endeavor will help us become a more efficient office for all of the residents in Franklin County.
And then my last question maybe for Zach or for you, Madam Prosecutor, is the amount for these 4 full-time assistants would be, is it the $383,596 or?
That is correct. So that includes the salary, the fringe benefits, and some purchase of like computers and other ancillary items for their employment.
Okay, thank you.
Madam President?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And I want to recognize and thank Madam Prosecutor for the thorough presentation. It left me scurrying for at least one question to ask, but you covered everything as you did in briefing, maybe a little bit more today. For those of us who are non-lawyers, the discovery process, let me back up. I dealt with a constituent case recently of someone who's in jail and has been there for 3 years. His mother called me about an issue he had in our jail, and we investigated in cooperation with the sheriff. They're very helpful. But I went over to the jail and interviewed the young man myself personally, but he had been there for 3 years. And still, no sight and end to his trial and time there. So I appreciate this work. But for those of us who are not attorneys, the discovery process, I want to make sure I understand it, and I hope the public does too. But the discovery process is when you are charged with a crime. Under the due process law, each side, the defense and the prosecutor, collects information about the allegations that have been put forth. That is the discovery process of the collecting of information. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay, and so why it can take so long is that that process, if you're understaffed, if you don't have the technology, if you don't have the support resources, that young man that's been there for 3 years, that's the kind, and I'm not saying his case can be complicated, all kinds of things could be there, so I don't want to put that on anyone, but it's the kind of thing that could lead to just a delay. And so as Madam President Crawley was identifying, the number of cases is an implication of needing to put more resources in this area. And so I just wanted to say to the public, because sometimes, again, we get into terminology and people don't see that this is really an investment that impacts you directly. And that's what I see when I hear it. But I just want to be clear that the discovery process is really maybe the most important part of the process.
It is the process.
For anybody, on both sides, whether you're the prosecutor or the defendant.
That is correct.
So.
That is,
Yeah.
no, please, Madam President.
No, I said to Commissioner Boyce's point about his constituent that's been there for 3 years. The longer we get, especially in the discovery process, some of it is depositions and getting account information. And the longer it goes, or that we go where that is not, somebody's not being deposed and we're not getting information from witnesses or victims, memory fades, right? And that can be problematic. And so the quicker we can get through discovery and answer discovery requests, respond to complaints, and gather that information that you're talking to, could possibly lead to someone not being there 3 years, and just speed up the process and make sure that it's just more efficient, more accurate information, more accurate data is collected. And so that was a great example. Thank you for bringing that up, Commissioner Boyce. Yeah.
And in part, this is also a criminal justice matter. You think about the gentleman, and I don't know his specific case or what his situation is, but when you think about folks who have access to bail and bond, and this is really an issue of equity as well, right? And so there's some folks that don't have the ability to be out on bond while their case is ongoing, and so they're sitting, waiting as the court process is doing its thing. And so our job is to make sure that we are being transparent partners in that endeavor. And if we are in any way holding up the criminal justice system by not being able to get to discovery quick enough, then we are not doing our jobs as we are tasked to do.
Madam Prosecutor, Madam President, Madam Prosecutor, I'll tell you too, you just triggered something in that comment. The case that I'm talking about was a healthcare issue. And so the access to the level of healthcare that this particular inmate needed, or I don't know if inmate's the right word for folks who are in the process. Okay. Inmate, it really was a matter of his mother reached out to me and said he needs XYZ healthcare because he's been in for 3 years. We think this is what is happening, but he can't get this particular. And so there's other implications behind the impact to the community, even from a healthcare standpoint, of just the 3 years that he's been incarcerated, because the health access might be limited to certain elements, or might just miss certain things, and so, they're bigger, it's kind of a domino effect of things that can be impacted. And like I said, in this particular case, he's been there 3 years and has developed, is believed to have developed some other issues, I would just say. And but the treatment that is available needs to come now from the outside, and it's a bigger thing, but 3 years he's been incarcerated waiting to stand trial.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like.
Not
we're really
convicted,
excited here.
waiting to stand
Waiting to
trial.
stand trial, waiting to stand trial.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, you know, a part of this discovery process, this is, we are only speaking here about the criminal division. Our office does handle the civil division as well, 35 agencies, villages and townships as well, and for our county. But only speaking about the criminal division, understanding that, again, we're not just talking about copying paper and handing that over to someone. We are talking about, you know, millions of digital files and things that take an incredible amount of time for the office to go through and to make sure that the appropriate things are redacted, that we are not violating any of the provisions that we are guided by as attorneys. And that takes a significant amount of time. I also want to be clear that this is one solution to the backlog that our county is experiencing right now. And I have made a commitment to all of our law enforcement partners, our partners on the bench, that this office is going to do everything it can to move that backlog along. And this is one way in which we can do that.
Madam President. Absolutely. Madam Prosecutor, I completely, I agree with my colleagues, and I commend you for the effort. I'm, as a manager, former manager, having run an office that had, I inherited that had a huge backlog as well. My question is very simple, but seeing your team sitting in front of me made me think, and maybe this isn't the appropriate time to ask the question, maybe I probably should have asked it in the briefing, but how did you arrive at the number? How did you arrive, hearing Zach give us the dollar figure, which I should have probably known before today, but how did you arrive at the number 4 for the number of prosecutors?
Well, Commissioner, respectfully, I've got more.
I assume. You're one of the members of the row offices, we assume that you have more requests.
No, and respectfully, we have begun the process of reorganizing the office and ensuring that we were as successful as we could be with our first request to you all. We wanted it to be one that was steeped in data, but also very much respectful for the season that we are in economically in our county. And so making sure that we could backfill certain positions as people begin to get promoted in our office, and making sure we've got the best people in the right positions. The number 4 just worked out appropriately from a budgetary constraint as well.
Understood.
And to address those needs.
Understood. We did an analysis.
But I've got more if you're ready.
Bet you do.
And as my first assistant of the Civil Division, Ms. Janine Hummer, always reminds me, she's at the checkout counter all the time. So.
Oh, we know. We know when it comes to Ms. Hummer. Yeah. If there are no further comments or questions, move for adoption of 258-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 258-25 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion.
Resolution number 259-25. Resolution authorizing a grant agreement with Real Situations Incorporated to promote health and wellness in Franklin County and foster a sense of community through youth programming and resources in the amount of $300,000.
Good morning, Commissioners and County
Morning.
Administration. D'Amica Withers, Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Real Situations' mission is to provide essential resources, develop effective prevention programs, and empower individuals to achieve positive change to help combat poverty, violence in our community through direct engagement and comprehensive support. Real Situations strives to create a safer, more equitable community where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. The organization acts as a catalyst, driving the collaborative efforts and creating a safe, structured environment within the Franklin County community where youth have a passion for sports to have an alternative activity to violence, participating in basketball and football programs that focus on community resource, physical and mental well-being. In 2024, over 2,000 families were served with household essentials, 2 scholarships were provided, and youth received school supplies. Youth from Reynoldsburg, Westerville, Columbus, and Whitehall teams participated in the sports program. This agreement strives to expand participants in the 6-week violence prevention sports program, increase the awarded scholarships, and continue to provide essential home and school resources, as well as provide access to health and wellness community resources. This resolution supports the Rise Together Poverty Blueprint Goal number 13, strengthening partnerships with parents to increase support for young people. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have, and I respectfully request your approval on this resolution.
Thank you for the presentation, and I just wanted to add to, I'm often asked about my own journey in life, and I never want to play the oppression Olympics. I had it worse than you, or you had it worse than me, so I can only talk about my experience. But when I say that youth sports and recreational opportunities probably was the single biggest factor in keeping me guided, keeping me grounded, and allowing me to learn some really valuable life lessons. I really just couldn't emphasize those words enough. When I think back to all the challenges that a young person can face or does in some communities, what I'm reminded most are about the outlets that those young people have as a safety net or a safety cove to sift through all the chaos sometimes that a young person has. And so sports and wellness and physical well-being, those are things that you carry throughout your life in everything you do. They seem like activity or just events to do, but every day that I work in politics or in the private sector, there are skills or attributes that I know that I picked up from my athletic days that I deploy to navigate those situations. I know that my colleagues up here too, we've had this conversation before, and we've seen it when we recognize the athletes that achieve the highest level for their age when they're state champions. But you see a lot of the same attributes in them that transfer into life's success. Now, it doesn't mean that if you don't play sports, you can't pick up those skills or attributes. I'm only saying that this is an investment in our young people, just like the investment earlier and the recognition of the work earlier. To invest in prevention is far more valuable than trying to address something after the fact. And so I just want to point that out because I know some people say, well, you're putting money into sports and different things, and not everyone values those experiences the same way. And so here's something that hopefully we can use the data that they generate to make the case even more so about after-school, out-of-school activities that keep young people grounded, give them some attributes and skills that they can use for the rest of their life.
Absolutely. Thank you for those comments, Commissioner Boyce.
Absolutely.
If you don't mind. Well, I completely agree with everything my colleague just said. I'm thinking about all that I'm reading, all that I'm seeing, all that I'm watching coming out of Washington, and all that I'm watching and seeing coming from down the street. And I'm concerned about kids, concerned about after-school programs. I'm concerned about the coming summer. And so any investment that we can make in kids, any investment that we can make in youth, in their lives after school and over the summer, any investment that we can make that helps to ground kids, that helps to give kids activities and involvement, and that helps to mentor kids, that helps to, whether it's sports, whether it's the technology, things that we invest in, any program that we're investing in that helps to invest in youth these days, because they're all being cut out of Washington, they're all being cut out of the State House. So anything that we can do to invest in kids, because I'm just worried about, you know, I'm worried.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madam President, and I would echo the concerns of you all. Having just made this presentation, seeking support of a new unit in our department, the facts are is that crime is down in the county, down across the county and the country, but youth violence is not. Unfortunately, our young folks are continuing to find themselves in predicaments that are causing them to make decisions that I want to believe they wouldn't make if resources were available to them, if parents and guardians had the support that they needed to better assist them. And we're always going to have people that are going to make decisions out of ignorance or whatever the case may be. But nevertheless, our numbers are not down across the street. And so I share the concern about what lies ahead, recognizing that even in years past where there have been more resources than what we have to work with, we still had concerns with youth programming over the summer. And so it is going to be incumbent upon me to do everything that I can to convene partners across our community to raise awareness about what is transpiring with our young folks. And we're talking as young as 10 years old, now even engaging in domestic violence against parents and guardians. And so I truly appreciate the commissioners considering this resolution of additional support around programming because it is so needed.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna move for passage.
That's fine.
You sure? If there are no further comments or questions, move for adoption of 259-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 259-25 has been adopted. Resolution number 260-25, resolution approving a contract amendment with the National African American Male Wellness Agency to support health and wellness in Franklin County through their African American wellness educational initiatives and events in the amount of $1,141,000.
Commissioners and County Administration, the African American Male Wellness Agency continues to strive toward a mission to increase life expectancy of millions of African American men and their families by taking a stance to reduce disparities in premature death and chronic disease. These efforts focus on enhancing physical health, mental health, financial well-being, and advancing research for both men and women throughout Franklin County and nationally. In 2024, over 5,000 Black men were screened at their events, with 85% had high blood pressure, 56.7% were unaware. Black women are 3 times more likely to die from breast cancer, 4 times more likely to die from heart disease, and 4 times more likely to experience maternal-related complications. Black men are 70% more likely to die from preventable disease other than white men. This agreement will support HIV Awareness Day, the Real Men Real Talk Conference, Financial Wellness Summit, and Cooking with Dads. This agreement will also support such health screenings, mental wellness events at Black Men's Wellness Day, and Uplift Her. Uplift Her is being held on Wednesday, June 18th at Cassius Hall from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m., where women can have access to biometric screenings, mammograms, cervical cancer screenings, maternal and infant health resources, and mental wellness. We will also feature the Senior Pavilion, which is a celebration for 60 and older adults and have access to resources that meet their specific needs. On August 9th, 2025, is Black Men's Wellness Day, where men and their families have access to biometric screenings, physical, physicians, and community resources. This resolution supports the Rise Together Poverty Blueprint Goal number 9, reducing the overall incidence and racial disparities and occurrences of preventable diseases and trauma, and improving the health of those living with chronic mental and physical behavioral health and conditions among those struggling financially. Here to offer remarks is Shonda Wingo, our Director of Office on Aging, to talk about our Senior Pavilion and representatives from the African American Male Wellness Agency.
Good morning. Me again.
Morning.
John DeWingo, Director for the Office on Aging. I won't be before you long, but I am happy to report that the Senior Pavilion, in its critical need, globally, women outlive men. And in America, women are living on average 5 years longer than men. And so creating a space to support our seniors and their unique needs is timely, and everyone should be considering creating spaces for seniors in all of their events, whether it's mobility issues or unique issues that come along with aging. This is important, so I'm happy to join forces and support the Senior Pavilion, both at the Uplift Her and annually what we've done for the last years at the African American Wellness Walk. Thank you.
Good morning, President Crowley. Good morning, Commissioner Boyce, Commissioner O'Grady, and the entire administration. I'm gonna have to edit and make sure I review your remarks next time. You took all my talking points this morning, but I do want to say that we were here a couple weeks ago not to come down here to say thank you, but we came down here to tell the entire team that we got you. But during that time, Chief Withers wasn't present. And so on behalf of our CEO, Mr. John Gregory, and who is joining me today, our CFO and co-founder of the African American Male Wellness Agency, Ms. Pam Gregory, also our Senior Vice President of NCUS, and our Executive Director here in Columbus, Ohio, Mr. Miguel Ojeda, and our Vice President, Ms. Dana Lavender, we want to say to you, in front of everyone, that we got you. For the work that you're doing, the work that you're, as far as standing in the gap, for the things that we're doing in the community, we can't thank you enough for all of the work that you're doing. And we want to let you know the same thing that we shared to this team, that no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and we have your back. Thank you for all that you do. With that being said, there is power in partnership, and this is a very important partnership. We brag about it all the time. Yes, we are in 20-plus cities, but we do say that this Board of Commissioners is the best. DCA Bivens proudly says that President Crowley is the dopest commissioner of all commissioners across this country, and we appreciate that because it's necessary. Not saying that Kevin and John.
Except, of course, for Commissioner O'Grady and Commissioner Boyce.
I'm just saying, that she's going on record sharing that, but we want to say to you that this partnership is very important. The work that we're doing is mutually beneficial. The list of events that you all are supporting this year that were just shared, there's some other events that we show up to that you all are having, whether it's conversations with Crowley or it's the Soul Talks that's coming up, where myself and Mr. Gregory will be supporting the work that Commissioner Boyce will be doing. And so that's what partnership is all about. We don't want to just come down here and say thank you, even though I just found out you all had this little button here where I can raise this up a little bit because of my height, right? But I will say that you all are doing an incredible job. We can't thank you enough for the work that you're doing. So on behalf of the entire organization, thank you. This work is life-changing, but more importantly, it's life-saving work that we're doing January through December. We're so much more than just a walk. Even though we say it's the most fun you'll ever have at a doctor's appointment, we get tens of thousands of people out, or we're screening hundreds of women at our Uplift Her event, or connecting men at our Mental Wellness Summit to therapists, or connecting dads to resources so that they can help us in our fight to increasing the amount of young men, young kids that are kindergarten ready. We can't say thank you enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. One, I want to just say to the African American Male Wellness Walk and all of the work that you do, please give Mr. Gregory my best. He was the best leader ever. He's the dopest leader that you've ever had. And, I know I said this last time you stood before us, but I was all the way out in Houston celebrating the legacy of former Mayor Sylvester Turner, who was a client of mine in the private sector. And when they had the pictures of him during the funeral, it was a lot of pictures from the Wellness Walk. And I was so proud of the movement that you started for wellness. And it really connects into the work we're doing in mental health. mental health is connected to physical health, and that's part of our advocacy work, is to ensure mental health parity when it comes to healthcare coverage and allow people to get the support and help that they need. Every clinician that I've talked to through this work has indicated that we're spiking in terms of our own crisis and mental health scenarios, but moreover, made the connection between the physical and the mental, and so, and particularly with Black men. And so I want to recognize and thank you for this work. It's far more impactful and meaningful than you may even see. So for all of you who work at the agency, for all of you who volunteer at the agency, know that you are a part of a much bigger movement. You're a part of a much bigger investment in the lives of everyday Americans across this country. And I've been, since COVID, I have not been running the same. And so I don't know if there's a connection or not, but folks know that I ran marathons. But I haven't really since COVID. I think this year's Wellness Walk is going to be my first run back where I'm actually fairly healthy. And so I'm, keep fingers crossed that, nothing happens here. But so I'm really looking forward to it. But more, I'm just looking forward to the mental health moment of seeing just thousands of people come out in the name of wellness, and Black men and women as well. But we know that Black men culturally have not been as, I'm going to tell you, my wife all the time, she's so good at going to the doctor. I mean, it's amazing the differences in how she'll go to the doctor for anything. She'll be like, you know what, I'm going to the doctor today, just because. I'm like, I still have that I don't have time, I've got busy, I'm doing all these things. And then I always think of my blood pressure, and I think of which a few years ago I found out was elevated and high, and which runs in my family. And so I go because I want to live, I want to be healthy and live. And so I want to be at my best. And I can only do that if I'm investing in my physical. These two up here, my colleagues beside me, and I'm going to presume Madam Prosecutor as well, all know the range of health care that you can go through, or have a loved one of health care that you've had to go through. And so the best investment is prevention. And it was my colleague John O'Grady who he got on me about, because I was telling him I didn't want to take blood pressure medicine because you'll be on it, for the rest of your life. And John was like, and we sat right here, he said, man, just take the damn medicine. But it's really his experience that is why he says that with so much passion and no tolerance for hearing that. But that's the mentality that we all need about our health, our physical health, our mental health. And so it's been a journey, and I just want to thank all of you for what you do. I mean, this meeting has gone long today, thanking folks, but we're sincere and authentic when we could easily run through the schedule and just get out of here and go on, and there's times we run through things, but when there's something that we believe in, we stop and recognize that, and more importantly, I see this as, it's not enough. I don't want to see us doing more with this work, because I know that in the end, if we're collecting the right data around this, that we'll be able to show the return in both our residents and citizenry and in what they do to impact. I mean, it'd be great to have some type of longitudinal view of all of this and be able to see and show people, see, this is the best investment we could have made in the return. Let me show it to you economically. Let me show it to you let me quantify that for you. And so, just keep doing what you're doing. Congratulations, and please give Mr. Gregory my best. Thank you, Madam President.
There's not a whole lot more to say. This is important work, and this is an easy investment that we make. You guys are fantastic. Thanks for all you're doing.
Yeah, I would just add, I echo everything my colleagues say about the organization. I just love you all, and I care about the work that you all are doing. It is transformative. I have said before that I didn't realize that my blood pressure was elevated until I went to uplift her when I was the honorary chair. thank you for allowing me to be the honorary chair, and I hope I did the organization some justice. But for me, I, walking around the event thinking, okay, we got to do these photo ops, and we got the videographer here, so let me do the screenings and, do all the things. And the gentleman was like, your blood pressure is elevated. And I was like, no, but thanks for telling me. He was like, we're going to do it again in like 10 minutes. And in 10 minutes, it was still elevated. And it has been. But that really brought home for me at the time that the risk that I have for heart disease. And you all know that my mom passed away from heart disease and COPD, and as well as my grandmother, and both of them had heart attacks. And so it has made it very clear that as long as I was going through life, like, oh, I'm good, I'm healthy, I'm not overweight, I don't smoke cigarettes like my mom did, I don't drink excessively, I do all of the things, and yet and still my blood pressure was elevated. And so, I have to get that checked on a regular basis. And just as much as, and I think for me, it's the reverse. I take my mental health very seriously. I've talked about it. You all know I have a diagnosed mental illness. I see my therapist on Mondays and Fridays, but I didn't see the doctor as often. I didn't treat it the same. And physical health and mental health are the same. It should be treated the same. And I love the fact that you all do bring home that message that your physical health and your mental health are one and the same, and you can't have one without the other. And so I love that you all are expanding all throughout the country, but really love that you have the screenings that are available, that are accessible, that are free to the public, that, they are connected with resources, and not just connected, but like really there's that follow-up, like, hey, did you do what you said that you were going to do or that you need to do? That this isn't just about you. This is about your family. This is about your community, and that you are valued and that you matter, and we need you to be here, and we want you to live a healthy life. And so I'm glad you have expanded. I love that there is an increased investment this time, and the contract is a little different than last year, or extending the contract and increasing the amount. And then the other ones, I want to say the other activities are just as important. The Cooking with Dad, that is a fun time. I think there's always the emphasis on women all in cooking, and but to have Cooking with Dads and how many dads show up to support that event is amazing. And so, and then the HIV Awareness Day as well. And so I'm glad you said, President Hampton, that it's more than just, the Black Men's Wellness Day or Uplift Her. There are a number of events that you all are having, and I wish we would see the same numbers that we see on Black Men's Wellness Day. We would see those same numbers for HIV Awareness Day, or that we would see the same numbers for Cooking with Dads, and that we would see the same number for all of the other events that you are having, because it's transformative in making a difference. I can't underscore that enough. And you all don't have to do this work. Like, you don't have to do it. So it's a testament to Mr. and Mrs. Gregory for your commitment over the years to expand, and continue to grow and to continue to take this across the country. So you're not just saving Black men's lives here in Franklin County, that you're saving Black men's lives all over the place and all over the country. And even though it's about saving Black men's lives, I absolutely love that we see everybody out there, white, Black, green, blue, purple, that everybody is committed to health and wellness, that everyone understands the importance of expanding life expectancy for Black men, that there is a real disparity there that needs to be addressed. And so I love to see all the faces. I love to see all the teams out there. Obviously, we are very competitive here at the Board of Commissioners. We'll take on whoever wants to, be taken on. But it's all in fun, and it's all with a mission to save lives. So thank you for being here. And thank you, Tamika, always for bringing great resolutions before us. That makes it easy for us to support.
Commissioner,
Absolutely.
can I throw one thing in?
Absolutely.
Other than calling you out for, I don't remember seeing any purple people out there, but But
All people.
I do want to
It's
bring
all
up,
people.
I do want to bring up one thing. For those that are listening, on your best day, on your happiest day, on your best day, on the day that you're feeling the best that you've ever felt, you still can have elevated blood pressure. You cannot feel your blood pressure. It's not, when you're, if you're sitting here in the audience right now and you're saying, man, I feel great, you can still have high blood pressure. You don't know when you have high blood pressure. You don't know when your blood pressure, by the way, and having very low blood pressure is not good either.
Right.
And so, you need to check your blood pressure. If you think, oh, like Commissioner Boyce, when you think, oh, I feel great, I just went out and ran 6 miles, I feel great today. You can still have high blood pressure. High blood pressure or low blood pressure is, it is an absolute killer. And, so checking your blood pressure on a regular basis, if you're in CVS, if you're in Kroger or Giant Eagle and you see a blood pressure machine, take 5 minutes to sit down and check your blood pressure. Have a blood pressure cuff at home. They don't cost that much. I've got, believe me, we've got 2 or 3 of them at my house, and they work. They're effective. You sit down, you put it on your wrist. You have a seat. You just sit there. You got to be quiet. You can't jabber and talk and wave your arm around and yell at your kids or whatever. You got to sit there and be silent. But it takes all of 60 seconds, and you know what your blood pressure is. If your blood pressure is elevated, go see your doctor. Make an appointment. Call your. I actually have my cardiologist's cell phone number because, they think I'm crazy. But having high blood pressure, sometimes my blood pressure goes too low. They get a little concerned about that, but you cannot feel your blood pressure.
To your point, and this is not a plug for Apple Watches, but Apple Watch.
Yeah.
But I was in Israel on a trip, and I was sitting, and 2 times my Apple Watch went off. I don't know if anybody's ever experienced your Apple Watch go off, and it lets you know that your blood pressure or your heart rate is elevated, even sitting. And
That's scary.
It was scary, but it was real, and so I needed to do some things to get my heart rate down, even just sitting, and then ended up having my blood pressure cuff with me because my mom at that time has always been about everybody should check their blood pressure because of what you said, and my heart rate was elevated, and so you made an absolute point. Great
And you're
point.
not too young. For those of you that are youngsters in the room, you're not too young to check your blood pressure. I have a 21-year-old who's dealing with some tachycardia issues, and so his blood pressure will get elevated. Sometimes not even really doing anything. Although he was at the gym the other day and his heart rate got elevated while he was working out. But pay attention.
Before we sit down, first of all, President Crawley, Commissioner Boyce, and Commissioner O'Grady, I would just publicly like to, again, reiterate how we thank you all for supporting what we do. And what we do, it is a year-round initiative. And so at all of our events that, we're providing free screening for all. And it's funny how when we started initially, we thought that really we were serving, when you think about the community in terms of their income bracket, what we have found is that health does not discriminate. It doesn't matter how much money you make or don't make, we are all impacted. And so we're blessed that we have the opportunity to serve Franklin County as a whole.
All right.
All right. If there are no further comments or questions, move for adoption of 260-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 260-25 has been adopted. Resolution number 261-25. Resolution authorizing a grant agreement with Columbus Chamber of Commerce to support the economic development of new and emerging citizens in the business community throughout Franklin County in the amount of $250,250.
With a mission to drive prosperity and growth in local business community, the Chamber focused on fostering connections, providing resources, and advocating for business. Their strong commitment to supporting small businesses is the key factor that positions them as a leader in the business development and connections. The Columbus Chamber of Commerce recognizes the significant positive impact the immigrant community has on the Central Ohio region's economy. In response, the Chamber created the new and emerging Citizens Business Connection programs, Cultivate Us. This initiative is designed to support new and emerging citizens in the region's business community by helping them create, sustain, and expand their businesses while addressing the unique challenges and barriers they face. In 2024, the Chamber connected and onboarded 100 businesses who participated in education regarding building and zoning, networking, member orientation, business taxes and bookkeeping, and minority business enterprise certification boot camp. This agreement is to serve approximately 120 immigrant and refugee residents through the new American Citizens Business Connection Program. It will provide opportunities in the areas of workforce development, business navigation, supplier connections, and support services. This resolution supports the Rise Together Poverty Blueprint goal number 3, increasing access to relevant training for credentials that meet local demand with employer commitments to hire and promote. Derek Clay, President and CEO of the Columbus Chamber, is here to offer remarks and answer any questions you may have. After those comments and questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution. Mr. Clay?
Thank you very much. Good morning, President Crawley, Commissioner Boyce and O'Grady, and the Franklin County Administrative staff. My name is Derek Clay. I'm the CEO of the Columbus Chamber of Commerce. We are a business advocacy organization. We represent over 2,500 members, which represents about 400,000 employees throughout Central Ohio and our 11-county region. We want to thank you for this opportunity to be before you. Cultivate Us is a new and emerging citizens business connection program that will continue to support businesses in Franklin County throughout 2025. And I might say that this program is the first of its kind in the country. So the dollars that is coming from the county, from the taxpayers, is supporting businesses throughout Central Ohio, and it's changing lives. The program really focuses on 4 key components, which is workforce development, business navigation, supplier connections, and support services, and providing businesses with chamber memberships and access to resources through our program navigator. And my colleague, Tanya, Uyoha is with us this morning, and Tanya administers the program. In 2024, with the support of Franklin County and the City of Columbus, the Chamber had the opportunity to serve over 100 businesses through membership, exposure, and with workshop opportunities. And for 2025, we will be renewing those memberships with over 100 memberships to various different businesses, expanding opportunities to support additional businesses in Franklin County. So again, on behalf of the Chamber, on behalf of our Board of Directors, I would like to say thank you. This program is truly supporting our workforce. We know that there's a workforce shortage in Central Ohio, and programs like Cultivate Us and the work that we are doing and the support that you all are providing through the Franklin County Board of Commissioners is greatly appreciated. I'm happy to take any questions from the commission.
Commissioners, can I ask a question really quick? Joy Bivens, Deputy County Administrator. Thank you, Mr. Clay. I just have a couple of questions.
Yes.
For our justice-involved residents who many times seek entrepreneurial opportunities, is there a separate track that this program can support, or does it support those residents in those endeavors?
Yes. President Crawley, Franklin County Commissioners, and DCA Bivens, I'm going to ask Tanya to come and address that question. Thank you.
Good morning. So could you just repeat your question?
For our justice-involved residents who seek to be entrepreneurs in this industry, because many times there's some barriers.
Yes.
Right?
So
Does this support them, and how does it support them?
yeah. So what my job in the chamber is not just to support the businesses that are already present, but also to help navigate, and that's what my title is, to help navigate all of the programs that Columbus and the Franklin County offers. So we not only support the people that are interested in starting a business, but also the people that have been and had a business for over 10, 20 years.
Okay. And so if we wanted more information for our justice policy and programs, we would just reach into you, Tanya.
Absolutely.
And then my last question really quick, for our young folks that have graduated or folks that are completed a high school or GED program, is this open to young people who have businesses that are not seeking traditional employment?
Absolutely. Yes. So the program is for foreign-born, and so as long as they are foreign-born, this program specifically concentrates on foreign-born members of the community because we understand and recognize that a lot of these people are coming from different countries. The parents don't have the resources, and being foreign-born myself, I understand that as I was growing up and going through all of the programs that were offered, a lot of these things are completely new. And so as a teenager or someone graduating from high school, you're going through these opportunities by yourself. And so we're there to navigate them and support all of the immigrant and refugee community. Mhm.
Easy.
Thank you.
Okay.
You know, at one point or another, most of us, all of us, had, relatives that were foreign-born. My grandfather came. We just discovered some documents recently, about his journey here in 1915. That my sister and brother have been had just discovered some new documents about his entire journey over here. So a program like this may have benefited him back in those days. There's a lot of I don't know, a lot of discussion these days about things of this nature. But this is a fantastic program, fantastic idea, and I'm glad we're investing in it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Commissioner. Thanks, Commissioner O'Grady, for saying that, because I try to look at those who are listening from the public and how they may see this, especially given the context of the discussion coming out of Washington these days. And you really have to look at it from our lens. We look at job creation. We look at economic investment and return on that investment. We look at resources that people, resources and skills and services that people can learn in another country and bring to our community, and so that we can access that resource. Last year, Director, you had a fair. I don't remember the name of it, but it was like in the lobby. There was different agencies that represented different businesses of a lot of our new Americans, and it was just interesting to see some of the things that you don't see in every mall. You don't see in every store, and that's what gives our community character. That's what gives our community flavor and a feel to it. And again, those of us who have been born and raised in this community know how far we've come as a Columbus in Central Ohio.
We talk about it all the time.
And it's a enriching thing to see. It's an enriching thing to see. So the way, I know I speak on behalf of my colleagues when I say that ultimately we see this as a very strategic investment. And it couldn't be at a better place than the chamber and with you, Mr. Clay, because I know where your value set is. And I understand, how you understand how that works for us. You're good at making the connection between what we do in government and what happens in the private sector, in the community. And to me, that's what this is. So this is great work. Looking forward to seeing the results and the data that comes from it. And if there are no further comments or questions, move for adoption of 261-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 261-25 has been adopted.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Ms. Withers, for your assistance. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have economic development and planning.
Resolution number 262-25, resolution authorizing a consultant contract with HR&A Advisors Incorporated to provide support with the development of an updated housing action plan in the amount of $465,000.
Good morning, Commissioners, County Administration, Walter Dillard, Economic Development and Planning. Our first resolution is for Franklin County Economic Development and Planning, seeking to engage HRNA Advisors Incorporated to assist with creating an updated housing action plan that builds on past efforts while refreshing the priorities, goals, and strategies of the county based on current conditions and insights gained since the last plan was created. The resulting housing action plan will identify practical solutions and recommendations to address county priority action areas. Pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption. I turned page. Something else. If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 262-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 262-25 has been adopted. Resolution number 263-25, resolution to adjust the boundary between City of Columbus and the City of Upper Arlington to transfer 12.47 acres, more or less, of Henderson Road from the City of Columbus to the City of Upper Arlington. Case number ANX-007-25.
Yes, and our second resolution is for consideration of case ANX 07-25, a boundary adjustment of 12.47 acres, more or less, of the Henderson Road corridor from roughly Moreland Drive west to the east to just beyond Chevy Chase Court to the west. The adjustment will move the City of Columbus corporate boundary northward along the section of Henderson Road, placing the area of right-of-way within the City of Upper Arlington. The City of Columbus and the City of Upper Arlington passed ordinances agreeing to the proposed boundary adjustment. The petition meets all statutory requirements outlined in Section 709.37 of the Ohio Revised Code. Pending any questions, respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 263-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 263-25 has been adopted. Resolution number 264-25, resolution to approve the Anti-Displacement and Uniform Relocation Act policy and procedures for the Community Development Block Grant and Home Investment Partnerships programs.
And our final resolution will approve and adopt the county's Anti-Displacement and Uniform Relocation Act, or URA, policy and procedures as required by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. In accordance with the Uniform Relocation Assistance and Real Property Acquisition Policies Act of 1970, all persons or families or businesses permanently displaced resulting from involuntary acquisition, rehabilitation, or demolition in whole or in part shall be provided with relocation assistance and compensation as authorized by the URA. And this plan applies to all projects funded by CDBG and home projects. Pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
Okay, if there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 264-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 264-25 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Job and Family Services.
Resolution number 265-25, resolution authorizing an application to the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services for the Ohio Adult Protective Services Innovation Grant and authorizing the Franklin County Department of Job and Family Services Director to accept an APS grant award.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Carmen Barnes, Assistant Director, Job and Family Services. Our agency seeks to partner with the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services for consideration of this application. As you know, county departments of Job and Family Services are mandated to provide adult protective services. We partner with the Office on Aging to administer those services locally. Through this grant application, we are also interested in continuing that partnership with the Office on Agency to pursue it. The Ohio APS Innovation Grant provides an award of up to $50,000 to enhance, improve, or expand the ability to provide APS services locally. Our application will focus on expanding transitional housing services for referred elderly residents in Franklin County. So this resolution would authorize the director to submit the grant application, and if approved, it would authorize her to enter into the agreement with ODJFS to accept the award and to enter into any future amendments to the agreement. So pending any questions, I ask for approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 265-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 265-25 has been adopted. Resolution number 266-25, Resolution authorizing the Franklin County Department of Job and Family Services Director to enter into an agreement with the Furniture Bank of Central Ohio to provide furniture and household goods for low-income families.
Our agency seeks to continue the partnership with the Furniture Bank of Central Ohio to support families we engage through our AMP program and our Family Stabilization Unit by providing furniture and household items such as beds, dressers, sofas, and tables, and appliances at no cost to their resident. The amount of furniture that each family receives is dependent on their identified needs, and it ranges anywhere from 5 to 20 pieces of household furniture or goods. Through this partnership, we also provide options for direct home delivery in addition to retrieving any furniture from one of the Furniture Bank's location. In addition to authorizing the director to enter into an agreement with the Furniture Bank, this resolution would also permit her to enter into any necessary amendments to that agreement. So residents interested in receiving information or furniture from the Furniture Bank can reach them through their website at furniturebankcoh.org, or they could also stop into one of their local thrift stores. I think the closest one is probably the one on Morris Road if they have any need directly from the Furniture Bank. So pending any questions, I ask for your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 266-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce.
Just real quick, the Furniture Bank is amazing. I know so many families who've accessed the resource. I haven't been over there in maybe a year or two, but I know the last time I went, it's just amazing the resources they get donated, both in brand new condition and used. And so if you need something, it's definitely a place to go. This is good investment. Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 26625 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Public Facilities Management.
Resolution number 26725, resolution authorizing a supplemental contract with Johnson Controls Fire Protection LP to secure services for installing interior readers and scanners on the 25th floor of the Franklin County Office Tower in the amount of $44,478.57.
Good morning, Commissioners. Darla Reardon, Director, Public Facilities Management. This resolution provides for the approval of a supplemental contract with Johnson Controls Fire Protection LP to secure services under the state term schedule for installing security electronics such as access control card readers on the 25th floor of the Franklin County Office Tower. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 267-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 26725 has been adopted. Resolution number 26825, resolution authorizing a guaranteed maximum price amendment number 6 to modify the original contract with Elford Incorporated to provide construction manager at-risk services, including construction services associated with the construction of the Franklin County Domestic Relations and Juvenile Court in the amount not to exceed $687,752 for a revised total of $37,363,246.53.
In 2020, Elford Inc., a local firm, was awarded a contract agreement to provide construction manager at risk services associated with the renovation of the Franklin County Domestic Relations and Juvenile Court. This resolution authorizes guaranteed maximum price GMP Amendment Number 6 for the specific purpose of early procurement of long lead time materials and equipment, including evidence storage cabinets, shelving, and lockers associated with the Franklin County Sheriff's property room that will be relocated to the 6th floor of this building, the Michael J. Dorian Building. Pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval of guaranteed maximum price amendment number 6. Thank you.
If there are no comments or questions, move approval of resolution 26825.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Abstain.
Resolution number 26825 has been adopted with Commissioner Boyce's noted abstention.
Thank you.
Thank you. Purchasing.
Resolution number 26925, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $1,573,376.01.
Good morning, Commissioners. Megan Perry, Balinier, Director of Purchasing, and joining me is Talisha Williams, Fiscal Officer for the Department, for the Purchasing Department in the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. This resolution, Commissioners, request your approval of 70 purchase orders. The county auditor has pre-certified available funding, and Talisha has the supplier diversity data.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. 7 of the purchase orders being presented are being awarded to small and emerging businesses totaling $191,912.92. These awards are distributed as follows: 1% to small emerging businesses, 5% to women-owned businesses, and 3% to minority-owned businesses. Once approved, 4 agencies will provide equitable and inclusive opportunities to small businesses this week. Year-to-date, Franklin County Board of Commissioners agencies have awarded 187 purchase orders to small and emerging businesses totaling $13,524,330.30.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 269-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 26925 has been adopted. Resolution number 27025, resolution approving one PO for the Franklin County Engineers Office in the amount of $960.
Commissioners, as stated, this resolution requests your approval of one purchase order. The county auditor has pre-certified available funding. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 97025.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Abstain.
Resolution number 27025 has been adopted with Commissioner Boyce's noted abstention.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we have the Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 27125, resolution appointing Joseph P. Garrity to the Franklin County Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Services Board.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Melissa Kohler, Assistant Director of Community Appointments. This resolution will appoint Joseph Garrity to the Franklin County Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Services Board to fill a term ending on June 30th of 2029. Pending any questions, we respectfully request approval of this resolution.
If there are no further comments or if there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 271-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 27125 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any journalizations?
Yes, we have 3. Case number ANX-12-25, an expedited Type 2 annexation petition, ANX-12-25, was filed with the Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department on March 28, 2025. The petition is requesting to annex 1.117 acres from Sharon Township to the City of Columbus. The petition will be considered by the Board of Commissioners on May 6, 2025. The sites are 7823 Flint Road, PID number 250-000459, and 7825 Flint Road, PID number 250-000460. And the next annexation is correcting a prior journalization from April 1st, 2025. Case number ANX-09-25, an expedited Type 2 annexation petition, ANX-09-25, was filed with the Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department on March 21st, 2025. The petition is requesting to annex 0.831 acres from Jackson Township to the City of Grove City. The petition will be considered by the Board of Commissioners on April 29th, 2025. The site is 2139 Sonora Drive, PID number 160-000440. And finally, on March 19th, 2025, Job and Family Services advised the clerk's office that the incorrect agreement number was given to TechCore due to a system error. The clerk received the correct version and was directed by a memorandum from the county administrator dated March 31st, 2025, to void the erroneous agreement, replace it with the correct version, and submit it through DocuSign. The fully executed, correct, and voided versions shall be added to resolution number 4525. These actions are being journalized as directed by the county administrator.
All right, if there's no additional business to come before the board, we are adjourned.
No, I don't believe so, but let me just triple check. I think it's